We go from basket bars to Akbar.
I like that. Hey, you did that promo without reading glasses. I like that.
You know what? It's the lettering's larger.
Okay.
And Law bent the glasses
the
when he put them on in the last TV only segment.
Fathead.
And somebody who I frequently get on Twitter that I'm him, even though we don't have the same hair. There's an Eisen and an Iseman.
Right.
I mean, I get a lot of that stuff.
I'm happy to be confused with you.
Good to see you,
You're
Matt
the head of
Eisman.
the NFL Network.
The return of American Ninja Warrior on Monday, June 12th, 8 Eastern Time. This is just on fire.
It is.
This show. Congratulations, guys.
It's been amazing.
So much.
What makes it so popular, do you think?
The hosts.
No. Great answer.
But he jokes around about it. But, I think we bring the passion. We talk about it all the time. Like, my journey in the NFL is a journeyman, so I relate to a lot of these athletes. And so the passion that you hear out of, from our voice when we're calling this, I think it allows people to connect even more so with their story because you understand how big of a deal it is when they're running and what they're overcoming.
And unlike the NFL, nobody's going to accuse us of being biased for one team or the other. Yeah. We can cheer for everybody, and we pull for these ninjas. We've gotten to know them over, some of them have been out for all 9 seasons. We know their stories. We know how much they've sacrificed. Yeah. We know their families, and we really are genuinely hoping that they get that they get
that $1 million.
Right, get the $1 million.
And you're right there alongside LeVar Ball's favorite, Christine Leahy. That's great.
Oh boy, yeah. He needs to stay in his lane too.
It was amazing watching all that blow up because we were just in Denver and Christine had to have armed security because of the response on social media.
Real bodyguard.
Come on.
She had a bodyguard to her room, like outside of her door the whole time.
Now I understand that they're out of abundance of caution and what have you, but there was literally something that caused.
I think it was just the response on Twitter, and it's hard to know what's just Twitter vitriol and what's real.
It was crazy. We did the Red Nose campaign, and we took pictures together for the Red Nose. And
that's an NBC venture that you're part of, obviously, with your show.
Right. And my social media got flooded with all sorts of crazy expletives. I mean, calling me everything from the end to the everything else, going back and forth for a picture we took back in whenever. Yeah. It was crazy. I mean,
why?
They said because I was in the same picture with her.
And I had to return my Lonzo Ball shoes. I was like, I can't wear these anymore.
$495.
$495.
Yes. By the way, great. That was a very good joke. We know that's not the case because those are not available till Thanksgiving, right? That's not a joke, by the way. Like,
really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, they're still in the oven, if you will.
You know, to me, those ball shoes, those are really just $495 Kobe Bryant's. That's what they are. They're Kobe's. Yeah, $495 Kobe.
He gets people talking about him.
Yeah.
He does that, as we just did. So let's move on.
Yeah.
Matt Iseman and Akbar Gbaja-Biamila, American Ninja Warrior, here on the Rich Eisen Show. So, Matt, when you're in a long day of production and maybe in a meeting and everybody, American Ninja Warrior, wants to go get something to eat, does Akbar ever raise his hand and ask a question of management to delay the process in the same way that he did at yesterday's NFL media? I wouldn't know because I was here doing this show, but my texts were blowing up from fellow NFL media group members saying Akbar's asking a question.
Usually food involved, Akbar will be the first one out of the room. You just lead a trail of Reese's Pieces and Akbar will follow.
Were you that guy yesterday?
No, let me tell you, I don't know who your spy was, but your spy was wrong. I sent you a tweet. I don't know if they have it. But I actually sent you a tweet about the time. Lunch was from 12:30 to 1:30.
Yes.
I asked my question at 11:52. So no one was rushing to get to lunch. I had a legitimate question about Facebook and how it works and its algorithm. I wanted to know its algorithm because I need my Facebook to pop more. It hasn't been popping. And so we had somebody from Facebook.
I think what you need is you need the modern day Curtis Blow over here rapping with you.
That's me. That's me.
Right?
Modern day Curtis
Darren
Blow.
gave you that look too.
So you were not that guy? Because I got full on, you were that guy. And then you know who was that? And then in the afternoon session, MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew, was that guy.
Yeah. No, I wasn't that guy. No, that wasn't me. I usually know. Look, we've been to college. We know when like it's time to, when the right time. Then we'll say, look, let's lay off. No more question. I asked it at the appropriate time, and I got my answer.
I raised my hand once, guys. I raised my hand once, and you can attest to this.
Yes.
When Al Riveron, the new head of NFL refs, was talking about the new replay system,
right,
and how it's removing the head referee from the process of deciding whether the play stance is called or it's changed. he'll still be looking at the play, but it'll be Al Riveron and a couple of other executives back in New York City making the final decision.
So he's just like us, just watching it on TV.
Yeah, but here's the other thing, though, too, is that the replay booth is no longer going to be the replay booth. They're going to actually have a mobile person. Actually, they're going to experiment with bringing them out to the field.
There's no more
So what was your question?
So my question was, Al, how is Ed Hockley taking this?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He had the home run run.
He's doing curls is what he's doing.
Well, that was what Al Riveron's response was. He didn't say anything. He just looked at his right bicep and lifted up his shirt sleeve.
Does Hockley get piss tested? Because that guy looks, he is enormous.
Yeah, no, I don't think he needs to.
Ed's been knocked down a peg. There's no doubt about it. I know you want to hit on a couple of Akbar on a couple of NFL items. What do you think is going on with Kaepernick? Akbar,
it's hard. It's hard not to think that he's being blackballed. When you look at guys during the offseason who's been signed, T.J. Yates, Austin Davis, after the Colin Kaepernick, it was almost as like that was just kind of a storefront, a facade to bring in Kaepernick to Seattle. I think about E.J. Manuel. I think about you can't tell me these guys are better than Colin Kaepernick. And yes, Colin Kaepernick is not the same Super Bowl quarterback we saw with the San Francisco 49ers, but he can't get a backup job. I mean, that part to me I think we're really witnessing some of this. And I think it's going to be something we're going to look back 15, 10 years from now. And no, I'm not putting him in the same category as Muhammad Ali, but bear with me on this, is that we saw when Muhammad Ali stood up for his rights and to make social changes, we saw the backlash that he got. And I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing some of that, but everyone's kind of afraid to kind of really put it out there. But that's what we're seeing right now, because you can't tell me any of those are Yates, Davis, E.J. Manuel, Case Keenum to Minnesota. Like, really?
Well, let me just follow up with that to give the devil's advocate, because I'm left scratching my head on this one too. And you can chime in too, Matt, if you're so inclined.
I'd love for the Broncos to sign somebody.
Well, I mean,
Elway's coming out of
it's just that,
retirement.
what are you looking for out of the backup position? Are you looking for somebody who is going to push the starting quarterback, if not supplant that guy because of the competition? Or do you want somebody who is just going to get there and just be there and happy to get your 2 wins if called upon?
But that's what backups are. I mean, but backups aren't. I mean, is Austin Davis really pushing? Is E.J. Manuel really pushing?
He's
Derek
not,
Carr?
which is, well, I mean,
What about financially too, though? I mean, are those guys? I mean, is Kaepernick going to sign for the same amount that they are?
He would
as a
have to,
backup?
because he's not in demand, and I don't think that he's going in there saying he's got to break the bank. I think he's just not being given the opportunity. Seattle bringing him in, to me, just seems like a facade. It doesn't seem like they were legitimately interested. And then you turn around and say, okay, yeah, Austin's our guy. Really? Like, Russell Wilson goes down.
But do you think he was saying, I'm not coming in as a backup. I want the starting position, or I want starting money?
I think he knows his place. I think he knows right now that he's going to have to fight for that position, because it happened to him in San Francisco.
Right.
He was demoted. He had to fight his way back in, and he was actually didn't even really have to fight because, whatever, they tried to make the change. But, yeah, he's not the same guy. And, it's just sad to see what happened, because he's trying to he's socially conscious now. And I think that there's a problem with that in the NFL. No one knows how to handle that type of quarterback.
Akbar Gbaja-Biamila, Matt Iseman of American Ninja Warrior on NBC, which premieres again next Monday, June the 12th. Let's take a break here on the show. We'll come back, spend one more segment with you, and set up shop for tomorrow's show. We've got a nice lineup for tomorrow as well as the rest of the week. Matt Iseman, Akbar Gbaja-Biamila, back with more in a moment. Akbar Gbaja-Biamila and Matt Iseman here for one more segment, American Ninja Warrior. Check it out on NBC. Back again next week. You got a numbers game for these guys right here, Brockman?
Sure.
Let's go ahead. A number.
Take that for data.
This
Today number guy
is the numbers game.
I'm not a numbers guy, but that doesn't seem to add up.
You have to be willing to change to get better. You like that drop? That's Coach Fizdale. With Father's Day coming up June 18th, you can get Dad by getting him better at golf by getting him the only ball with a dual soft, fast core. You have to go to CallawayGolf.com/Father's Day and explore the full Father's Day gift guide from Callaway. Chrome Soft is the ball that changed the ball. What do you have over there, Brockman?
Yeah, you talked about it. Red Sox, Yankees kicking off their 3-game set tonight. We have the first numbers are out for the American League All-Star voting.
Okay, what do you have for me?
Your leading vote getter,
Tell me it's Aaron Judge.
1,251,543 votes as of earlier today.
That's a hell of a number.
Aaron Judge, your leading AL vote getter.
Wow.
Besting Mike Trout, who has about $1.15 million and is currently on the
million
disabled
votes.
list. Out of
Dollars.
what did I say? Dollars? It doesn't matter.
Dollars,
And out
votes.
about 8 weeks, Trout's on the DL.
Wow.
Aaron Judge.
Now you were a pitcher, right, Matt?
I was
back in the day in
So
the Ivy
Aaron
League.
Judge and Mike Trout are both my nightmare. I played in college and
Princeton?
Princeton, the mighty baseball powerhouse, and
What was your game? What'd you clock in?
I clocked 90 was the fastest I ever threw, but I was usually mid 80s, kind of nibbling on this. Look, it was Ivy League baseball. It was pretty much a
Come
step
on
above
now.
T-ball.
Yeah.
How many?
We were okay. My sophomore year, we went to the college regional tournament. And we lost to Clemson. It was 58-7, and then Towson State. We were out, but we played against like North Carolina. Paul Shuey, who was a closer for the Indians
Paul
for a
Shuey.
while.
I don't remember
so
that
a
name.
few guys we went against, but mostly I think we were more on the managerial track than to be on the field. Although subsequently, Scott Young, who had about 12 years in the leagues, he's now coaching at Princeton. He's put out some major leaguers.
We're excited. We're going to have AJ Hinch on the show tomorrow. Right now, the Astros have won 11 consecutive baseball games, and they take on the Royals tonight. So we might have. What do you think, guys? We get him on off a 1-game losing streak or 12-game winning streak tomorrow? How are we working tomorrow? Also, we got Jay Williams showing up in studio to talk about tomorrow night's Game 3 of the NBA Finals. And Graham Rahal, who won 2 races over the weekend. I will point out to him when he calls into the show, he did it because both races took place in the state of Michigan. That will be a fun conversation. Took place in Detroit.
He won more races than Ohio State scored points.
That'll be a great. That's another way to workshop it.
Okay.
I like it. I like the cut of your jib, sir.
Thank you.
I like it very, very much.
I know who the host is.
So, what can you tell us about this season coming up that folks don't already know? It's just more of the same. You've got better.
New obstacles. We have new obstacles
Like
this
what?
year.
What do you got?
Well, we had a design challenge. So we actually put out for the viewers at home last year to come up with an obstacle, and if you guys want it, would feature it in this season. So that's what we've done. 6 cities this year, and we have 6 new obstacles that were
One
inspired.
of them was designed by a 7-year-old. He took his crayons, drew something, and it came to reality. In San Antonio, week 2, they'll see it, the Skyhook.
I love it.
Not the
I
Kareem
was-
Abdul-Jabbar Skyhook. This is the Skyhook on American Ninja Warrior.
Well, I was going to basically say, because who comes up with these,
It's a year-round thing now, designing the obstacles. We have a crew, ATS, who they've become the obstacle specialists, and our EPs. It really is an art, though, to design an obstacle, because we have people from 4'10" to 6'10", and 20 years old to 77 years old.
77. We said 77, so you're not too old to try to.
No, look, I've already been in this hour of the program invited to rap with Baron Davis. I probably should stop there.
No, because
and you've
you
seen
actually
my
owned us from last
limitation.
year.
And I know you've.
By the way, I thought that was Tom Cruise running. That's you, Rich.
That is me
That is
running.
an action hero right there. You're ready for Ninja Warrior.
That is the Rich Eisen Show logo is an actual silhouette of me running the 40 in my suit at the combine, with the exception of my right leg that's lifted up off the ground was workshopped to be moved in underneath my body, as opposed to just like sort of Elaine Bennis dancing style of my leg
Maggie
being.
Grace
You
from
broke
Taken.
6 last year. You broke 6 for the first
And
time.
then this year I went back above the 6.
I salute you, though, to do the explosive 40. I just feel like an Achilles or a hammy. No, like, look, I tried
There
the
are many,
course.
Matt. There are many adjectives used to describe my 40. Explosive is low down.
Didn't
on
they
the list.
superimpose a snail going against you once? I tried the course last year in Las Vegas, ended up dislocating a bone in my foot and
what
having
else?
surgery.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that didn't happen.
It's
I wish they could pull up the X-ray of you doing. I mean, the X-ray.
I had Wolverine. I had pins
Oh
in
man,
2
has
of my
pins
toes.
in his.
Yeah.
And I just looked at, and I filmed it too. So I encouraged him.
You can hear his laughter.
Yeah, well, mine has a lot of anti-awesomeness, to use the phrase of Arian Foster from his
Anti-awesome.
X-ray from back in the day. Remember that is
Yeah, I
that's
remember.
anti-awesomeness
Awesome.
right there. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Always a pleasure.
I really
Thank you.
appreciate that. Hopefully this is a better experience than the Celebrity Apprentice that you've had right here.
I ended up winning.
I know you
So
did.
It was
And congratulations
great
for
me.
that. And
Thank
you raised money for
$1 million for the Arthritis Foundation.
So
which
this,
is my charity.
This did wind up
Rheumatoid
much better
arthritis.
than your Celebrity Apprentice.
This
Congrats
it's
on that.
always a kick to come see Rich.
Yeah, that's good.
Thanks,
It is,
Matt.
yeah.
I appreciate you saying that, and I would love to come to a taping.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would not like to try it.
Come up to the host tower. Come hang with us.
Whoa. Are you trying to push me out? This is a seasoned vet. Are you trying to push me out?
I can't bring years of NFL playing experience to the microphone.
But you can bring
Akbar.
years of running the 40 at a high speed.
I can do that. But I've never done that, sky hooking and jumping through a hoop. And,
You know what's great is essentially we make it up because, no one's comparing us. Like Al Michaels isn't being, he gets compared to Madden or Cosell. We just make up terms on parkour extraordinaire. It's the leaping. We invent the vocabulary.
But if I make it through, you can believe in miracles.
Oh, yeah.
To use that
I'll
phrase.
jump out of the booth if you did that. Yeah.
Well, I don't want you to do that. Everything's going too well for you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having
you
so
bet. Matt Iseman and Akbar Gbaja-Biamila on American Ninja Warrior. Again, check it out back on NBC next week.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
Isn't it amazing you can download an app with your thumbprint? You should download our app with your thumbprint.